All right, I believe we are good to go. Hello and welcome, Just Family. I am Melissa Krechler. I am your host of Giving You Something to Talk About. Today, I'm your host, Melissa Krechler. I am an identity coach, spiritual teacher, business mentor, creator of Just Alive TV, and founder of the Women Supporting Women Can Network. I am here today to talk to you on today's episode about having an all-around healthy lifestyle. Our sponsor today is the Phoenix Identity. They're offering you access to their 3-month life crisis package. If you want to go and check that out or check them out, you can set up a discovery call. Their link is in the description. And yeah, we're going to be talking about all-around healthy lifestyles today. And to do that, we're going to be talking to Aida. And I hope I said that right. So please introduce yourself.
Yes, my name is Aida Cirino-Lee. I am originally from Puerto Rico, but I reside in the state of Florida. I am a holistic health practitioner and integrative nutrition coach that have worked in the healthcare field for over 27 years as a registered medical assistant and a medical lab technologist in internal medicine, oncology, and urgent care. So I have, that much experience when it comes to health. I also did pre-med because I wanted to be a doctor, but life took another turn and I became a holistic health practitioner. But my passion is to help women to prevent, control, and reverse chronic diseases. What for? For you to be able to have the energy, the vitality, and a long life to pursue your dreams and pursue your purpose. Because without health, you can do anything. So that's the why, because I don't want people just to be healthy, It's to be healthy so you can be happy, you can enjoy your life, and you pursue your purpose.
How many people do you think, and just from your own experience, how many people have you come into contact with that, don't understand what healthy lifestyle actually is? And before you say that, to anybody watching, catching the live, catching the replay, I have 2 things for you to do. 1, go like and follow us on our social platforms, join our newsletter on dislivetv.com. But I have a challenging question for you. When you hear health, when you hear healthy lifestyle, what's the first thing that comes up for you? What do you automatically think of? Do you automatically think of dieting? Do you think of health and wellness, weight loss, food intake, nutrition? What is it? What does healthy lifestyle mean to you? So I question all of our viewers to answer that question as we're doing the live. I will ask again a few times during the live, but pop it in the comments or reach out to myself or Ida and let us know what you think healthy lifestyle actually is. So further to that, what do you think people think when they hear healthy lifestyle?
When they hear healthy lifestyle, they always think about a diet and a exercise program, and they limit to that. They forget that we have a spirit. They forget that we have a mind, and that controls everything else. You can eat healthy and have all the right foods. You can do all the right exercises, have the right personal trainer, doing it. You can even have the nice body, with the sizes that you want, and still be unhealthy if your spiritual health is not in line, and if your mental health is not in line, and your emotions are not in line. But when you talk to people, they only think of those 2 things: nutrition and exercise.
Absolutely, it does. And you know what? I think that normally I don't do this, but I want to do this. You created a book called you created a system called the RX for Healthy Lifestyle, or Everlasting Health. So it is though, and I would like you to quickly,
I do it quickly.
Tell us what everlasting means in an RX for Everlasting Health. Tell us what the everlasting is.
So RX for Everlasting Health is the name of my business, but at the same time, it's an acronym that's going to give you all the pillars that you need in order to see your health holistically. So the RX means prescription, and then the everlasting, the first letter is the E, is for exercise. You know that we all need exercise to make sure that your joints are flexible, and exercise to make sure your bones are strong, exercise so you can keep your weight, so you can keep your cardiovascular system working properly, and also for memory and for mental health, you need exercise. Then the second letter is V of Victor, but that means vision. And I'm not talking about your eyesight. I'm talking about your why. People that doesn't have a why or a reason why they're doing right things, they will not do it. If you don't know why you need to be healthy and what for, you're not going to do it. You're going to go through life, making decisions that's going to harm your health, that's going to harm your relationship, that's going to harm your life. Okay. Then the other E is for environment. The environment is everything that is outside your body. Okay. The people don't understand that there's toxins everywhere you go. Everything that you put in your skin, everything that you put in your hair, everything that you put in your makeup, everything that you smell, like your candles, your Febreze, okay, the smoke that the different industries expel into the air, all those things are the environment are damaging your health, because your skin absorbs 60% of everything that it comes in contact with, and it goes into the bloodstream, causing damage and inflammation and so on and so forth. So knowing about having a healthy environment is the must. Then you have the R, that is for rest. Rest, everybody, when you say rest, everybody says sleeping. And yes, sleeping is essential. You need to sleep 8 hours a day. Why? Because when you're sleeping is when all your cells are doing all the restorative work. A lot of the metabolism processes is happening. Even weight loss happens when you sleep. Taking the garbage out of the cells and disposing of the cells that are not working anymore, that are dead, that's happening when you're sleeping. So if you don't do that, memory recovering, neurons recovering, all that happens when you're sleeping. So that's essential. But rest is not only sleeping. Rest is you having a break during the day. Are you having a day off during the week? Are you having a vacation every year to get out of the, your daily habits and do something different and expand your mind? All that is necessary when it comes to rest. Then after, it's L of love and relationship. Now, there's nothing more stressful in your life than people. So knowing how to choose your inner circle, knowing how to communicate, knowing to know your loved ones so you can avoid complication and conflicts, knowing how to identify a toxic person in your life is essential for your optimal health. Okay, and then after that, you have attitude. Attitude is so important, because attitude is how you're going to react to the situations in life. So when you have a bad attitude, you create more problems, because let's say you have a bad attitude, you go to your job with an attitude, you can get fired. Not to mention that that's increasing your cortisol, your stress level, your inflammation levels, and causing disease. Okay, but it is proven scientifically that when you have a positive, that when you have a negative attitude, it suppresses your immune system. That means that you're more prone to infections and disease. So it's essential for us to have a good attitude. Then we have S, or spirituality. Spirituality is also important, because everything that you see right now, me, you, the room, her bed, everything was an idea. Everything was in the spirit before it came into physical. So connecting to the spirit, connecting to the creators, who you are, is essential. Also, when it comes to spirituality, we're talking about things about gratefulness, for example, gratefulness and unforgiveness. I want to stop here real quick in unforgiveness, because people don't understand the damage that unforgiveness do to your body. Okay, unforgiveness they have scientifically proven that unforgiveness causes mutations in your cells that can lead you to cancers. When you have unforgiveness, if you don't understand a little bit about the psyche, you have your conscious, where you are aware that your intelligence, that you know what is wrong and right, and then you have your subconscious. Your subconscious, where all your memories and everything that has happened and everything that you have learned in your life is in your subconscious. And then pretend that that's a bowl. Okay, then your emotions are a spoon. Okay, so every single time that you are going to express your emotion grabs something from that bowl and show it. So if you only have garbage and unforgiveness, that means that you have a person that you haven't forgiven sitting in your subconscious, putting up more garbage into your bowl. Why he's putting more garbage? Because he's reminding you what happened and how he did it again, and reminding you how you're going to answer the next time you see him, and how you're going to curse him out the next time you see him, So he's putting garbage into that bowl. Not only that he's putting garbage into that bowl, so every time something good comes to you, then he's stopping it, blocking it, blocking it, blocking it, blocking it, blocking it. Okay, so that's why it is essential for us to forgive. So that has to do in the realm of spirituality. Then after spirituality, you have the T of time management. That's the only source that we all get the same thing, 24 hours. How come some people do a lot with those 24 hours and some people don't do nothing with those 24 hours? That's because we don't know how to prioritize. And there's 3 things that we need to prioritize to have the energy, vitality, and to be effective and productive. You have to prioritize your spiritual time, meditation time with God, or, whatever you believe, but for me, it will be God. Okay. And then the second thing is your self-care. You have to take care of yourself to be healthy. And the third thing is your relationship, because we are not born to be alone. Even those people that like to be alone, they still need people. Even if it is virtually or whatever, they still need people. Okay, so if you prioritize those things, if you prioritize your spirituality, that means that you're going to be in peace with yourself. You're going to have self-confidence, and your self-esteem is going to be good. You prioritize your self-care, then you're going to have the energy and the vitality to do whatever. And then you prioritize your relationship. You know that everybody's going to be okay. It's going to give you peace. So that means that the rest of the time that you have, you're going to have the vitality, the peace, and the confidence to be efficiently in less time and more productive and more creative to do any other projects that you have to have in life. So that's why time management is so essential. Then after that, you have the I from income. Everybody always say, well, why income have to do with health? Everything, because every single thing that you need in order for you to be healthy, you need to buy it with money. Even for those people here that are religious and go to church, you still need to have to give your tithes. You still need to control your church, build the house of the Lord and all that kind of stuff. You still need money. So if you don't know how to manage your money, no matter how little, how much you get, that's going to give you a problem, because then you won't be able to buy your medicine. You're not going to be able to pay for your gym membership, or you're not going to be able to buy the healthy foods that you need or the supplements that you need. You understand? So, and not having the peace of mind. You know what it is when a bill collector calling you and you know that you don't have the money? You know, that's where everybody's seeing me, because we come with all kind of stories and lives when a bill collector calls us, you know? I've been guilty of that, so I'm telling you the truth. So, and then after that is the end of nutrition. And that's everybody knows about nutrition. That's what are you giving to your body? The nutrients, minerals, and everything that the body needs in order for the body to work in the highest healing potential. Why are you giving yourself in order for the cells to work in the highest healing potential? It's essential for you to get healthy. You don't go to your car and give them a water with sugar and put it in the gas tank so the car will run. No, you don't do that. You know that your car runs with gasoline. So why do we give water and sugar? That's what we do when we drink sodas, when we drink all these juices. Okay, and eat all this garbage. That's what we're doing, putting garbage into our body, and then we want the body to work in our highest healing potential. Then we wonder why we get sick. You know? So that's why nutrition is so important. And then we have the G of goals. Goals is essential because you need to set goals in order for you to reach that optimal health. Not only that, but remember when we talked about the vision earlier with V? The vision is like your destination, where you're going to go, and then the goals is like the GPS that's going to tell you where to go. The good about having goals set up is that if you have to reroute, if something happened in the journey and you need to reroute, it will be able to reroute because you already have an idea of what you're supposed to do. When you have you're going through life doing, not knowing where you're going, forget it. And then we got the H of health, and in the H of health is where we learn how to navigate the healthcare system, which I call it the sick care system. And that's how you learn more about whatever condition you're suffering or whatever condition you try to prevent. Okay, where you learn more about the nutrition, where you learn more about herbs and things that are going to help you to stay in health. So that's what I said. When you look at everything that I just tell you, you're looking at the spirit, you're looking at the mind, and you're looking at the body. Because everything around you, the number one enemy of your body, well, there's two enemies in your body. The first one is stress. And all those letters that I told you, if you are not balancing any of them, you're going to have stress. And that's the number one cause of disease, stress. And the second cause of disease is sugar. Okay, so if you don't remove sugar out of your diet, you're going to be in problem. And if I go a little deeper here with the sugar, let me tell you something. Do you know that sugar is in everything? When I tell you in everything, you think that especially for diabetes, they think they're buying a salty snack. For example, Doritos. Oh, I can have some Doritos because it's a salty snack. Doritos have 3 types of sugar, plus it's a tortilla that is a carbohydrate that the body's going to turn into sugar. Why? Because the industry have given sugar over 75 names to fool you and me on not knowing what we're eating. Because what? They don't use sugar just to give sweet flavor to the foods. They use sugar as an emulsifier, as a preservative, as a bulking agent, as a color agent. So that's why you can find sugar into everything. If you don't know how to read those labels, or you don't know how to cook at home so you can cook from scratch and you know how much sugar you add into your stuff, if you have to, then you're going to be in a problem. So that's why even people that think that eating conservative amount of sugars might be eating more than they think, because they have no idea of how much sugar is out there.
So lots of stuff I want to touch on in that. So the first one, let's start with sugar. So I drink Pepsi. I am a pop drinker. I eat and drink whatever I want, because I'm a part of that. I think for me, everlasting health for me is a healthy balance of everything. I'm the type of person where I won't deny myself the things that I want, as long as it's in moderation, as long as it's not, in my opinion, toxic, right? And I think that everybody everybody who's trying to create an everlasting health or an all-around healthy lifestyle is trying to find how that works for each individual person.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Oh my girl, I'm not even going to mention that comment. Anyway, somebody's being slightly inappropriate. So everlasting health, I absolutely love that, and I love how you've broken down every one of those as something new, something different, something to focus on, because we do need to focus on an all-around package, about many things that are going to contribute to our health, contribute to our well-being. And you're right, it is everything. We do need to focus on our mentality, our emotions, all of that. We need to create an all-around energetic, emotional, mental, physical connection, spiritual connection to ourselves, but also to our body and what our body needs. Because you're right, you wouldn't put water in it to run a car. You wouldn't do any of that. You would do whatever it is that you can do, and put gasoline in it. And for some, my husband has a Mustang. He puts premium gasoline in that because that's what it runs best on.
Exactly.
And you have to, and it's not every car needs premium gasoline, right? Every car requires a different, maybe your regular everyday Mazda like mine needs just regular gas, where a high performance vehicle would need more of the premium gas. So it just really depends on what it is that you're trying to create for your body. If you are somebody who is very high in the health and fitness sphere, making sure that you're eating high protein and you're eating, based on your body and what it needs. For myself, if I don't eat carbohydrates every 5 hours while I'm awake, I get violently ill and I get hypoglycemic. I'm not diabetic. I'm probably on the road to becoming diabetic at this point with my Pepsi, but at the same time, I know that, right? And I am running that risk. My daughter is a type 1 diabetic. And with type 1 diabetes, for anybody who doesn't know what type 1 diabetes is, the difference between type 1 diabetes and type 2 diabetes is 1, lifestyle, 2, a type 2 diabetic, their pancreas is still working, but it's not working enough to combat the sugar intake, which is why you can still eat sugar, or you don't have to be reliant on insulin for the rest of your life as a type 2 diabetic if you cut out the sugars, if you only eat sugars in moderation, or focus on having a predominantly sugar-free diet. My daughter, on the other hand, who's a type 1 diabetic, her pancreas does not work at all. It's basically useless. And she will be insulin dependent for the rest of her life. And she has to, not only does she have to take insulin for sugars, but also any carb content she has. So you're talking about sugars. We don't count sugars. We count carbs, because the sugars are automatically added into the carbohydrates.
Exactly.
So we have to count carb intake. And for every amount of carb, she has to take insulin for that at every meal, every snack. It doesn't matter what she's eating or when she's eating it. If it has carb content, she's taking insulin. And that there are different scenarios for different people with different body styles, with different, physical, energetic needs. And I think you were right when you said that there is a balance. There is a balance, but that balance is different for absolutely everyone.
Yes.
Um,
That's what I
so I
call
have,
bio individuality. What
yeah,
works for you might not work for me. You know, everybody's
exactly.
totally different.
Yeah. So let's start at the beginning. Exercise. Exercise is as simple as walking. Exercise you don't need to go on, you don't need to go to the gym. You don't, if you want to, absolutely great. For everybody watching, you do have a choice in all of these things. And I'd like to highlight each of them and do some of the different choices. So exercise. That could be working out at home, doing some crunches or walking up and down your stairs, having a dance party while you're cleaning house or while you're making dinner or
I
doing
do
the
a lot of that.
dishes. Yeah, me too. So have a dance party while you're at home. If you have children and you can't get outside or you can't go to the park, have a dance party. Get everybody cleaning or everybody doing something where, grab the brooms and the mops and start dancing with those and have a dance party. It does not have to be convoluted. It doesn't have to be anything other than what's easy and accessible for you. And there are a lot of people who have yoga online, which helps numerous options in your everlasting RX. So yeah, exercise doesn't need to be what everybody assumes it needs to be.
No, for me, my only exercise, the exercise that I usually do is walking. I just try to make sure that I walk my 10,000 steps a day. Everybody can have a different limit. I like to make sure that I do 10,000 every single day. And that doesn't include just an hour that I exercise. That includes from the moment that I put my feet in the floor when I wake up in the morning, I start counting my step until the time I go back to bed. And if it's 9 o'clock, for example, and I look at my pedometer and I haven't reached out the last 1,000 or 2,000, something like that, I walk around the house, I put a song and I start dancing until I make the steps that I need to do to make sure that every single day, because all you need is to move so you can move your cardiovascular exercise, so you can move your lymphatic system and you can get moving. And you're also moving the cells in your brain as well at the same time. And make sure that when you're doing exercise physically, you also do exercise mentally. Especially if you're over 50, you want to do things like Sudoku, or I love the adult coloring. That's my favorite thing to do. The adult coloring. Everybody likes, something different, but adult coloring, word search, puzzles, all that kind of stuff that will activate, learn something new, a new language, a new skill, a new hobby. All those things are going to help you exercise your brain. So that's the things that anybody can do. You don't, and nowadays with YouTube, you can do whatever. I mean, you can just put a YouTube tape and put it at home and you set. I mean, if you have the money and you really like to go to the gym, that's okay. But I prefer home it's my choice.
Yeah. Um, exactly. And for us busy entrepreneurs, you can have, if you have the money, if you don't have the money, you can get an exercise bike or an exercise, I can't
Elliptical. I have
remember.
an elliptical at home.
Yeah, an elliptical, and you can put your computer on it. You can put, a book on it. You can work while exercising. You can do that all. I like how you mentioned exercising your brain as well, because that is so important. Playing cards, going for a walk, even walking is exercising your brain too, because you're looking at everything around you. You have to focus on what you're doing. So making sure that you're doing things that are exercising your brain, your eyes, your physical body, your energy, you're rebuilding all of that.
Yeah.
So vision is a huge one, and I like that. Having a vision of where you want to go, but allowing yourself to know that that vision can change. It can be interchanged. It can be, we all need dreams. We all need to, whether you think they're attainable or not attainable, or we all need to be working towards something. And that helps our mentality, our emotions, our physical, our motivation, our determination, our drive. There's a lot of that, a lot of our ability to actually get up every day and do what we need to do comes down to a vision of what we're trying to create, or the way we want to live, or the lifestyle that we dream about, and taking those steps to make it happen. So vision is very important.
Yes, I believe vision is very important because it gives you direction in life. It's like, for example, if, let's say a basketball player. A basketball player knows that they need to be fit, they need to be able to run, and need to be able to practice more of the basketball. So because he got a vision, he already aligned. Okay, I'm gonna start playing basketball when I'm in school. I'm gonna be in the basketball team in middle school and high school. I'm gonna make sure that I exercise every day, that I follow the coach instructions. And because he already have a narrow way of living, it's gonna help him to be more strict when it comes to his health. For example, in my case, for example, before I became a holistic health practitioner, I was 300 and something pounds. And I was big. My goal and my vision to become a holistic health practitioner and health coach and be able to impact the health of others helped me make sure that I eat right and reduce my weight. So that's going to give you guidance. It's very important. And I usually have two visions: the vision that I want for my health and the vision that I want for my life. So that's two different. So when you want to write what is your vision, you have to look at yourself in the future. Look at yourself in 5 years from now, how you want to look, what you want to be doing, what you want to see happening to you in 5 years from now. But you have to visualize it, write it down, and be very specific, even colors, places, and don't limit yourself for nothing. Pretend that everything is right. You have the right money, the right people, the right support, the right place, the right husband. Everything is right. Okay, when you're writing that and you write where you want to be, and then once you write where you want to be, then you go backwards and how you say that word? I forgot my word. The thing is that you go backwards and write how you want to get there for where you are now.
Like your action plan.
Yeah, and then you write your action plan and where you are now to be able to get there. But do not limit yourself for absolutely nothing. It is essential. And then it is true what you were saying, that sometimes you have something for your vision, but then you end up in a different place. But the fact that you have a vision, that still gives direction to my life. Because, for example, in my case, I never thought I was going to be in a place like this talking to somebody like you in live television or Facebook or anything like that. I was the kind of person that I said I was going to do the coaching maybe one-on-one and only to Hispanic, because my English was so bad. I have to a big accent. People are not going to understand what I'm saying. That's what I thought. Now, what God intended for my life is that I'm always talking now. I'm always in some kind of podcast or live TV and on a daily basis. Okay. So you see, it changed the way I'm doing anything. And I did write a book, but I never thought I would do such thing like that, because like I tell you, English is my second language. So I never thought it was never, when I wrote my vision statement, stuff like that, that was not there. But like you're saying, things change. It's never, when you write your vision, it's never really your vision that change. It's the how. The journey that you're going to take to get there is what might change.
I absolutely agree. I think that, yeah, I it does change, and it's okay. And the more action you take, the more availability there is to you, where it says, okay, I've got this, I'm good, I know what I'm doing, I'm ready to go, I'm all of that, right? And the confidence that you create, and how that opens up new doors for you when you create that vision, and the motivation to get it done is fantastic. So environment, um this one I'm kind of going to put with love as well, because the people, not only the products, not only what we put in our hair and what we do. I'm a smoker, of course, I have bad habits. So not only the things that we do and the things that we surround ourselves with, it's also friends too, right? It's the people we work with, the people we allow into our life, the people we converse with on the daily. All of these things also contribute to our environment. And when you're in an environment where the people around you are feeling stuck, are feeling unaligned, are feeling very low, very low vibrational, if you would have, that brings you down. If you're not confident and you're not where you want to be, or you don't have a clear vision of where you want to go, the people you surround yourself with can hinder that as well, right? I am an identity coach, psychic, intuitive medium. So if I tell people what I do for a living and they're like, oh, really? And then they, you know, even if they're like, then it gets to the, you kind of get offended. It kind of, it hits across, it hits where you're at, right? And that will hinder, again, your vision and your progress, your motivation, all of that. So your environment also deals with your mentality, your relationships, your all of it, right?
I
So
totally agreed. Actually, when you mentioned that, when you say that you are a medium, all that, how people, I feel the same way. You believe it or not, I feel the same way in the health and fitness, health and wellness atmosphere, because 90% of the people that are in the health atmosphere are skinny in the bone. And I'm not. I'm not the picture of perfection over here. I'm not putting myself down like I'm ugly or anything like that. No, but I'm saying to myself, I'm not skinny. I still have my little rolls here and there. I'm not skinny, but I can see the improvement from I was a lot bigger until now. And I don't, that's another thing. People think, I'm sorry that I just went a little to the side, but another thing that, because is that people think that healthy is the number in your scale. Healthy is not the number in your scale. And you don't lose weight to get healthy. That's another thing. You don't lose weight to get healthy. You get healthy to lose weight, because when you lose weight to get healthy, you do all kind of crazy stuff that's going to damage your metabolism, that's going to damage your health, that's going to give you deficiencies, that can even put you in danger of dying or losing an organ or whatever, just to get skinny, and then you lose your health with it. So you need to just get healthy first. And then when you get healthy first, that your cells are working in the highest healing potential, then you can decide to lose weight. Well, while you're getting into that journey of getting healthier, you will lose some weight.
Yep, you are absolutely correct. Sorry, I have my oldest son's car, so he wants his car back. He's messaging me, is the door open? I want my keys. So yes, I was letting him know that yes, he has availability. So rest. I love how you said rest. One of the things people don't understand about rest is that rest is your emotional, physical, mental, spiritual. You have to find a way to rest. Now, one of the things I teach all of my clients, it doesn't matter what aspect of my business, because I have 6, in every one of my businesses, the first thing I will tell my clients is you have to find what makes you happy. You have to find a place, a practice, a tool, a technique, breathing, I don't care what it is. You have to find multiple things that bring you down to a calm level, where your emotions aren't running crazy, where your mood isn't weighing you down, where you can just be calm and relaxed and just be. Whether that's binge watching a show, whether that is listening to music, whether that's driving your car, whether, it doesn't matter what it is. There has to be, and there is, I guarantee for everybody, mostly, there is something that can help you just calm. I challenge everybody to do the 15-second breathing technique. Literally all it is inhale for 5 seconds, hold for 5 seconds, exhale for 5 seconds. That technique is so relaxing. It removes the emotions that you have going crazy in your head. It removes, a lot of the thought processes. It removes the tension in your body, your physical, energetic, emotional, spiritual tension. And it just, it's like taking a deep breath, and it works. So anything that brings your brain space, all of it, anything that brings you to rest, focus on doing that, because you're right, it isn't just sleep.
I love the 5 minutes breath that you do, the 5 seconds. Should do that every time, and do it before you get to the doctor's office and get your blood pressure checked. You do that exercise and your blood pressure will be normal every single time. No more white coat syndrome. So everybody that's suffer high blood pressure, make sure you do that so they don't add up more medications, okay? So it's very important. But it is true, I love going to the beach. And because I live in Florida, I live in Central Florida, so I'm not like near to the beach. But whenever I decided that I need a break, I will tell my husband, okay, I'm going to go to the beach for a day, and I will drive down to the beach and stay there for the day. Another thing that I love to do when I cannot go to the beach is watch the Hallmark channel. I know that my son, he's 18, and hi mommy, those movies is all about the same thing. They fall in love, you know, they get into a discussion and then they kiss at the end of the thing. I know it might be dumb for you, but I love the Hallmark channel. And for me, that's so relaxing because you're not working your brain too much. You're just relaxing, you know?
Yeah.
I love it.
And that's exactly what it is. It's not working your brain too much that you can't take 15 seconds to just relax.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so important. Okay, love. Oh my goodness. Now, I am going to precursor this comment with, I am an identity coach. As an identity coach, I work with individuals, couples, families, and groups. So I do have the knowledge in this. I do have courses on relationships. I do deal with this in my business coaching. In every aspect of my coaching, I deal with relationships. Here is why I'm saying that. Every relationship, if your relationship is not going well, if you're not happy in your relationship, if there's issues with your relationship, that will filter out to everything else. And a lot of us are business owners. If you're not good at home, you're not good in business. If you're not good at home, you're not good at work. Your relationships, whether it's family, love, friends, that impacts your everyday life. And you take that to work with you. If you are upset at work, sorry, I've got a couple bunnies doing circles in my backyard. I hope they're probably doing things they shouldn't be doing in the backyard. Speaking of love, unacceptable.
You having pornography, bunny pornography now?
Yeah, apparently. I don't know where they went. Thankfully, they're hiding behind the tree now. But with that, if you're not doing good, you think about it. Most of us have either worked a 9 to 5 or work a 9 to 5. If you work a 9 to 5 and you're not doing well at work and you're not happy at work, say your partner's not happy at work, you're not happy at work, and you come home and you bring that with you, that starts to impact your relationship. Never mind your relationship impacting your work. If you're not okay at work, you're not going to be okay at home either, because it's hard to, that balance. It's hard to separate your work, your business, your finances, your relationships. It is hard for a lot of people to separate those and say these outside things shouldn't be affecting this one thing, but it does. So it's having a healthy balance of that and knowing that your work is different than your home life and your relationship and your family and your friends. And so the love aspect of it is very important because they all bounce off each other.
Listen, there's something that I believe is that when you don't put something in the calendar, it doesn't happen. So the way I treat relationships when it comes to spending time, having that day night with the husband, that one-on-one with your child, that call with your best friend, that girls night out and all that, is to schedule it in your calendar the same way that you schedule your tasks for your business. And honor your time. If you said that you're going to be in a day night on Thursday with your husband, you're going to go to that day night on Thursday with your husband. Honor that. If you're going to spend time with your son, then you're going to honor that, because the thing is that difficulties are going to happen in all the other areas. But when your relationship is strong, it can withstand whatever is going on around. But when your relationship is weak, it will not stand the things that are happening into your life, because things are going to happen. But it's the strength of your relationship. So you need to schedule those times. Something that happened with some of my clients is that when I tell them to schedule a date with their husband, the first thing that they tell me, oh, but I like a spontaneity. Well, tell your husband not to tell you where he's going to take you on Thursday. Let him be as spontaneous any other day, but make sure that Thursday is always a day, just in case you get too busy. You already had that already blocked. You know what I'm saying? And the same thing with the children, and the same thing with calling my mama, calling your dad or your siblings. Put it in the schedule all the time, so that way those things happen. Another thing that I always say that is good is that do assessment to, especially to your loved ones, especially the loved ones, your children, your husband. Do assessment. What the way that they like to be loved? What is the way that you give love? Because sometimes it's not that they don't love you or that you don't love them. It's that you're not giving him the love that he expects, the way that he receive it. Maybe he like words of affirmation, and you like gift. You like gift. But they don't know that, so he giving you love the way that he's affirming you, telling you how pretty and all this, and for you that's it's like, you know what I mean? Because you're not getting no gift, and you're not saying to him how a good man and whatever, and you're giving him, you see those things. If you get to know that, and then also when it comes to the children, if you do assessment like this assessment of talents and stuff like that, so you can understand them a little bit more, especially when they enter those teenage years and the young adult years. So you know how to talk to them, you know how to treat them, you know what they like. And those are things that are going to help. It's never, those things are never perfect, but it's a tool that's going to help you to have a better relationship. And then when it comes to the people outside with the friends and things like that, you need to know how to choose them. And I always use an analogy of a tree. I said there's people in your life that are like leaves. There are people in your life that are like branches, and there are people in your life that are like roots. The people like leaves are the acquaintances that come into your life. You need something from them, they need something from you. They help you with something, you help them with something. They're there for a little bit, and then they're gone. Okay. Then you have the people for like branches. Those people are either they're there for a while, they're either sucking on you or not. Well, maybe they are a partnership that you have with a person. Okay, and they're there for a while, but as soon as a misunderstanding happens, something stupid happen, they break. Now you have people like the roots. The people at the roots are the people that are there for you no matter what. They're there to encourage you when you're down, but they're there with you to celebrate. It doesn't matter how many miles apart you are and how many months have gone and you haven't called them, but when you call them, it's like no time passed. You like started from the last call and continue. And they're always there to support you. They're able to tell you the truth in love. Okay? They're not letting you do whatever just because they're your friend. They know that you're doing something wrong, and they're going to let you know that you're doing something wrong, but they're going to do it in love. And that's going to help you with your relationship. That's a little bit I know in that realm.
Yep, absolutely. So attitude. Here is one that I wanted to share about attitude. So I am in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. And growing up in, it's called friendly Manitoba. And Manitoba absolutely is friendly. Until, and there's a big until. So you walk down a street in Winnipeg and you say hi to somebody. If you've got a smile on your face and you walk, I mean, you're walking past the person, you're like, hi. They're like, hi. And they'll keep walking, right? You'll either hit up a conversation or keep walking. But if you walk down the street and you give somebody attitude, you're going to get throat punched. Right?
Sounds like New York.
Like, you know what I mean? You need to understand that the attitude that you bring into your life is the attitude you're going to get back. That's what I wanted to say about, it's not just your moods. It's not just, the way you think. Obviously, if we have a very negative outlook, we're going to create a negative reality. 95% of our reality, our lives, are based on our thoughts, our beliefs, our actions, our self-worthiness, our self-love, our decision-making skills or lack of. 95% of our life is created by us. And in that, if you constantly say, I don't have this, I don't have this, I'm never going to get ahead, I'm never going to do this, I'm not good enough for that, you're going to create scenarios where it doesn't happen. You're going to keep doing that because our lives, again, are created by us. So if you walk around and you've got a shitty attitude, you're going to get a shitty response. And that's because that's what it does. Like, we had a guy come on to this video at the very beginning and made some really derogatory comments, borderline like unacceptable comments. And I can read them out. They're not vulgar in a wording sense, but this person says, all I know is I need a chocolate chick to rock my world. You know what I mean? And then I like thick chicks. You know what I mean? More cushion for the pushing. And I'm just like, I sit there and it's like, number one, you get ignored. Number two, nobody's going to take you seriously. Nobody's going to, if you're offensive, if you're inappropriate, nobody's going to take you seriously. Nobody's going to sit there and try to support your goals and support your needs and encourage you to do more, because you're making people feel inappropriate, or you're making people feel like you just don't have the drive or the dedication or the motivation to do anything other than what you've been doing. And so the way your energy, the way that your attitude reflects in your life is what you're going to get back.
I totally agree. Totally agree with what you're saying, because the way that you see life is what you're going to get. And the more negative that you become, the more negative things you're going to get. And not only that, the way that people are going to treat you, depending on the attitude that you have.
Yep.
If you want, you cannot demand people respect when you have no respect.
Yep.
You know, respect is earned.
That's the other thing. You can demand respect out of love, right? I have very strong boundaries when it comes to the show. I have to. I respect my show. I respect your time on my show. I respect your life and your ability to come on my show. But if you don't show me or the show the same respect, it's not going to work. And it's not going to come across very well. And again, it's the way that you interact with people and the way that you show up and the way you embrace life is your attitude. Spirituality, I'm totally down for that. You got onto forgiveness, and I'm just like, yeah. The only thing I want to touch on spirituality is your spirituality is your own. You don't need to believe or encourage or do anything that doesn't feel aligned to you. Your spirituality, you could be an atheist. It doesn't really matter as long as you have your own beliefs and you're confident in those beliefs. That's what spirituality does, right? When it comes to spiritual practices don't actually have to be spiritual. That, like meditation, grounding, breathing techniques, hypnosis, because meditation is just a form of hypnosis. It's a deep form of relaxation. That's all meditation is. Grounding is taking you out of your subconscious and bringing you into your here and now, right where you are, right? Noticing that my hands are clasped together. That's my focus, right? That's grounding. That's bringing you back to now. So a lot of that stuff, spirituality, I think for me is just knowing who you are, knowing what your beliefs are, and practicing your beliefs in your own way.
Yeah, knowing your core values and stay firm in your core values, and don't conform to other people's core values just because, because then you're not being you. You need to, but there's only one thing that I emphasize besides the forgiveness is faith. And I'm not talking faith in a religion here. I'm not talking about, being a Christian, being a Judean. No, I'm talking about having faith, because even the atheist person have faith. When you take a Tylenol for a headache, you take a Tylenol with the faith that it's going to take away your headache. You already have faith. Faith is believing something that you cannot see, but believing that it's going to come through. So it's people, and you need to have hope. It's part of hope, hoping that what you believe is coming to part. Hoping that you believe is coming to part. So you need to have faith in life, because that means that you won't have. If you don't have faith, that means that you don't have no hope. And the people that doesn't have no hope end up in suicide. So it's essential for you to have faith. In why you have faith, everybody is different. I have faith in God, in Jesus Christ, Holy Spirit, the Father. But everybody else have a different,
Exactly. Like you and I, right? I grew up in a religious household, but I don't believe in God. And I have no problem with anybody who does. And it's, I can encourage your faith and your beliefs in whatever way, shape, or form that is. It doesn't look the same for everybody, right? Mm-hmm. You can have two people of the same religion sitting side by side, and their faith looks different to each of them. And that's, I'm going to be getting into that in another episode. Not today. Okay. Time management. That is actually coming up as well. Next Friday, not this Friday, but next Friday, we're going to be talking about the importance of routines. And that's coming up next Friday. So I'm not going to get into too much on time management, but making sure that your time works for you is so important. Whether that is scheduling every minute of every day, whether that's scheduling a portion of your day, whether that is just making sure that you get 3 things done every day and the rest is up in the air and spontaneous, whatever that looks like, having a system that works for you is key. I've noticed in my own, and I'll be going through this on the routine episode, is once my routine started being put into place, it changed my entire life. And like I said, I'll be getting into that on next Friday's episode on the 27th. Income is a huge one that affects I don't even want to get into income, but that affects everybody. And when your income is not where you want it to be and it's causing havoc with your entire being, income is one of those non-negotiable things you have to figure out.
One thing with the income real quick, it's not only that it's not where you want to be, because right now I can say my income is not what I want it to be. It's knowing how to manage what you do have and not go over, because what brings the stress is going over to what you have. If you know you can only have a slice of pizza and you try to have 2 because and you don't have the money for the 2, that's where the problem comes, because now you have to borrow the money and pay with interest. You know, so that's the key. That is knowing to live on your means, and of course, then work harder to get whatever else money you want in your life.
Yep. Nutrition. Again, I love nutrition because I think that nutrition is whatever works for you, within moderation. I am not one to believe in diets or crazes or fads. One of the doctors that I probably should have made a complaint about told my husband to put my daughter, who had lost 30 pounds in 2 months, to put her on the keto diet. And it took them 9 months to diagnose her as a type 1 diabetic. And so it would have killed her. It absolutely and utterly would have killed her at that point. And yeah, we were not impressed. I can't do intermittent fasting. That will make me violently ill because I need carbohydrates every 5 hours while I'm awake. I don't know if anybody else has experienced this, but I will wake up with rot gut and just my insides feel horrid when I wake up because I haven't eaten. I can't do intermittent fasting. I can't do the keto diet because I can't not go without carbohydrates.
Me neither.
Because that is, my body is reliant on them. And so nutrition is not whatever, it's moderation. It's eating everything and anything in moderation, making sure that for the most part, the majority of your intake is healthy foods, such as proteins, healthy sugars in fruit and vegetables, healthy carbs in vegetables and fruit. It's keeping a balance, that healthy balance, oatmeal. Nutrition is, go to a nutritionist or dietitian, find out what your body style. I know there are professionals out there, coaches like myself, not like me because I'm a different style of coach, but there are coaches out there who will help you find what your nutrition is that works for you and creates that healthy lifestyle for you.
I create for my clients what is called an individual lifestyle protocol, because everybody needs to eat different. I don't believe in diets either. I don't believe in keto, this, vegetarian, whatever. Some things work for some people, some things don't work for other people. So it's very individual. What I believe is to buy quality foods. If you can afford the organic versus the GMO, please do. And the way that you prepare the food also change the quality of the nutrients in the food. You said those are the things that I focus more. I'm not focusing so much into a diet in specific. Now, according to whatever is your metabolism, according to whatever is your health main concern and stuff like that, then we can design the way you eat, to help you mitigate the situation that you're going through with whatever condition. Let's say you have arthritis, we need things that will lower your inflammation. So we know exactly why, the type of foods, the type of herbs, how you're supposed to cook your food, because you know, you frying your food, even if it is a healthy piece of broccoli or a healthy piece of chicken, if you fry it, it's going to bring more inflammation than if you steam it or if you bake it.
Well,
So
that's like
things like
using
that.
an air fryer instead of a deep fryer.
Air fryer, but that wasn't available years back. But you know, now it is. Now I do. Listen, now the most appliance in my kitchen that get used is the air fryer right now, because it's amazing.
I'm in the process of buying one. I haven't picked one yet, but I'm looking to buy an air fryer because I like, you know, I like making homemade chicken fingers and I like making homemade French fries, and having an air fryer to do that rather than a deep fryer is fantastic.
Do not buy. I'm gonna give you a suggestion. Save the money so that you can buy one that have the different plates like this,
I want the
because you can cook
convection
more. Yeah,
Yeah.
because the one that is a basket is limited of what you can put in there. You know, unless it's a big one. And the other one I like it better, because in the other one you can even roast a whole chicken there and
I
all that
saw
stuff.
that.
Yeah, and I have that one. You know, you can roast the whole chicken, and now you don't have to give up your liking of fried food, because now you can have it fried, but it's not in the oil and everything else. So this is what I say about food. It's just that and the quality of food, because it is better. It's better, for example, to make your own granola than buy the granola. The granola that you buy have too much sugar, but you can make your granola at home if you buy the oats, the fruits and the nuts that you want to put in it, and then you know, bake it in your house and toast it and get it as granola. So those are the things that I say that it's different, that when it comes to nutrition, you know, to make sure. But I'm not the one. I don't believe that you have to carve out a particular group of food, because then you're gonna lack the nutrients that come from that food.
Yeah, absolutely. And then G, goals. Who shouldn't have goals? It's like the visions. Your goals are your stepping stones. You know what I mean? And for everybody watching, I've said this 100 times and I will say it another 100 times. Your goals, number one, your goals will change. Your goals never stay the same, or very rarely will they stay the same. Number two, your goals aren't going to be the same as other people. Your goals are going to interchange, they're going to morph, they're going to, you know, and every time you hit a goal, you are automatically going to set another goal. It doesn't stop until you hit that end goal of you know, not being here anymore. It never ends. We constantly, right? If I say my goal is to get healthy and lose 30, you know, 60 pounds, I'm going to have to buy a new wardrobe when I get to that 60 pounds. So there's another goal, right? There's always going to be a new goal, because we're always learning, we're always growing, we're always changing. It's a never ending process.
I said that as you go through life, the day that you stop learning, the day that you stop doing, that's the day that you start dying. So like you're saying, there's always something new to conquer. There's always something new to conquer. And when you set goals, I said, like we were talking before, let's say you plan your vision, what you're gonna look or what you want for 5 years from now, and then you back engineer. That's what the word that I was trying to look before. Back engineer, and you know, to create your goals. And then as every quarter, you check your goals to see what need to be changed or adjust. Or maybe because the way that you back engineer, let's say you do it instead of 5, let's do it to 3 for sake of explanation. Let's say that you're looking at a picture of how you're going to be in 3 years from now, and you back engineer. That means that you're going to create 3 big goals, one for each year. And then those 3 big goals, you're going to break it down into 12 goals, one for each month. And then that one from the month, you're going to break it into 4 goals. Those are the ones for every week. And then that goal, you're going to break it into tasks that you're going to put in your calendar, and that's going to be for the day. But then every so often, I will say every quarter, you check to see if anything's changed. If anything that you have planned for last month, now it's not going to be something that you need to do, or maybe you like something new, or you learn some new skill, and now something changed. And then every year at the end of the year, you change, you know, and you already look and see what is changing. Like with me, I had to change it because of the new things that I've been doing. You know, I had to change what I have planned. But the good thing is that when you have goals, and Write it down so you can see it. And I like for the year, and I put a word for the year. Okay, and when I project it there, I can see it. And then what I do is when I accomplish it, I put a star on it that I accomplish it. And please celebrate your accomplishments. Celebrate your accomplishments. Okay, because sometimes people don't notice what they have done in their life because they don't write it down. If you don't see it, you might have you might have accomplished something big and you didn't realize it because you didn't intentionally write it and notice it that you did it. So that's what's so important, because when you notice it that you did it, then you're going to be motivated to continue to the journey. But when you don't see the difference, you're like, you don't want to do anything.
I even encourage people to celebrate the losses too. Celebrate the things that you've overcome, because every time you hit a low period, every time you hit a loss, you still overcome that loss. You move through it and you process it and you move on to the next thing. Celebrate that as well. Celebrate the power that you have in going through that moment. Um, well, I guess, is there anything else you would like to add about having an all around healthy lifestyle?
Just all I want to people to us to understand that when it comes to when it comes to the doctor and when it comes to your all around care, the doctor is take care of your sick care. I call it sick care because you go to the doctor, you have a pain, they give you the medication and they stabilize you. But the real health care is everything that you do in your own. The doctor is the one. The doctor is not going to take you to take a walk and exercise. The doctor is not going to choose your friends. The doctor is not going to make sure your environment is clean. The doctor is not going to make sure that you go to sleep. The doctor is not going to make sure that you have enough money. The doctor is not going to make sure that you're managing your time. The doctor is just going to give you something to alleviate what's going on right now and prolong your time in earth. But the quality of life and the real healthcare happens when you take care of yourself and become that CEO of your health that you're supposed to be. There's something that I always end every video. They said the doctor is responsible of your sick care, but you, yes, you are responsible of your health care.
Absolutely. I 100% agree. And that I say the same thing, but when I say that's 95% of your life is based on your choices, your inactivity, your ability to, your capability to create. So, all right. Well, thank you so much,
It was an
Aida, for
honor to be
joining
here.
me today. Go ahead.
I was saying it was an honor to be here today.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I really appreciated it. For everybody watching, make sure that if you want to connect with either myself or Aida, please do so. Our links are in the description. You can find our sponsor, A Phoenix Identity, at the link in the description. They're offering you a clarity session to discuss their 3-month life crisis program. And that package is all about creating and getting you out of the rut of where you're stuck in unhappiness. So get in on that link in the description. For everybody watching, catching the replay, or listening to this, please go and like and follow and share on your social media platforms. Join our newsletter at justalivetv.com. We have a lot of really exciting shows coming up, including the one we've just done. And I look forward to seeing all of you on the next episode. If you would like to be a guest host or a guest speaker or guest blogger or a sponsor, please reach out again at justalivetv.com. I love you all, Just a Family. Thank you again, Aida.
Thank you.
And I will see you on the next episode.